difference between a crossdresser and someone who is trans? So, usually, crossdressers are people who are cisgender, and they enjoy dressing up in the clothing of a different gender, but they don't identify with that gender in terms of their internal experience of gender. So sometimes it's for like humiliation purposes, like sissification play. Sometimes it's for things like drag. There's a lot of different reasons that it can happen. But usually a crossdresser is someone who like enjoys wearing the clothing and like playing dress up, but they don't feel as though they are that gender inside of themselves. Someone who is trans or transgender is someone whose internal experience of their gender does not align with the gender they were assigned at birth. Now, again, the reality versus like technical definitions can be a little different. A lot of people experiment with cross-dressing before recognizing that they are trans. So sometimes people can even be both. There are some trans people who also do drag or cross-dress as a different gender. So it all can get very, very messy. I think this is one of those things where with a lot of these definitions in the queer world, I get a little nervous sometimes about like why people want to know the differences. Because I think that sometimes it's used as a like validity test or a like respectability test. And I think that in general, whatever label peoples want to apply to themselves is like totally freaking valid. If someone is a drag queen and they consider themselves to be trans, great, cool, awesome. If someone is a cross-dresser and they decide to do a little bit of hormone therapy to make their cross-dressing easier, but they don't consider themselves to be trans, great for them. Take whatever labels feel right for you. I don't think that either is more valid than the other, and I don't think that either necessarily gives the other a bad name in a way that some people can do. And they're similar and different, right? Like calling a trans person just a cross-dresser is super fucking insulting most of the time. Most of the time that's being done by transphobes who don't believe that being transgender is real, and calling someone who is a cross-dresser necessarily trans may invalidate their identity. So again, like listen to the labels people use for themselves. If you don't know, you can ask them like, you know, what is your gender experience like? Maybe you don't even need to know exactly what terms they use because like maybe it doesn't really matter. And so I think that, again, in general, cross-dressers wear clothing of a gender different than the gender that they identify as, and people who are trans have a internal experience of their gender that is different than the gender they were assigned at birth. There can be overlap, they can be different. Who knows?